Hello guys, another video. I have a chat member, Hachiro, asking right now if I were to whale or buy packs on this game, which ones should I get? So this will be the whale's guide to optimizing your purchases, okay? I am an expert at this point. So what we do, okay, so I'll kind of go tiers. Let's go with the little tunas first, the guppies. Okay, so if you're a guppy, what you're going to purchase is the Classic Gazette and the Premium Gazette. This, you get infinite worth. Well, not infinite, but it's a lot of worth. Because not only do you get 3,000 gems for 5 USD, which is crazy. That's 10 summons, but that's incredible value for the ratio in this game. But every day you get one pull. So you essentially get so 30 days in a month you get 20 pulls from 5 USD. Which actually, when I think about it now, is that right? Well, am I doing my math right, guys? It's saying 12,000 here. Anyways, buy the gazettes. I don't have brain power for math right now. But, yeah, and the premium gazettes, actually, if you only had 15 USD, you get the premium gazette, not the classic gazette. Because the premium gazette gives you the brown tickets. And the brown tickets are what allow you to really hyper focus on the 5 characters on your wish list. And as kind of a side note, because a lot of people in my chat, or some people in my chat don't know this, and actually I didn't know this for the first 2 days of release, when you set your wish list for epic recruitment, you can actually set A units in one of your 5. Like, let's say you keep wiping on the Dream Realm. You're tired of getting one-shotted or two-shotted. You're like Monka S, right? And you want to get Coco, who is an A level unit. You can actually put her up there, and when you get the guarantee on the wish list, you will get 5 copies of Coco instead of 1. And mind you, to get Supreme Plus, you need 20 copies of Coco, which can take a really long time, even if you're doing everything in this game. So I just want to throw that out there. Okay, so anyways, I digress. Let's continue on. So let's say you decide you don't want to be a guppy anymore. You want to be a tuna fish. So if you're going to be a tuna fish, then what you're going to do is you're going to buy the growth bundle. This is Omega worth. And the reason it's Omega worth is because it's a one-time purchase. And what happens is, like, as you progress through the game, like say AFK stage 41, 76, 136, 196, every time you hit those milestones, it rewards you for progressing through the game. It'll give you like 10 regular summons, 3,600 gems, 10 brown tickets. And in total, assuming you clean out this, like, let's say you eventually get, like, you beat AFK stage 951. Then in total you'll have accumulated 18,000 gems, 60 brown tickets, which essentially guarantees you 2 S tier summons if you're going for that, and 60 regular summons, which guarantees you an S tier unit as well. So that's if you're a tuna. Now if you want to be like what's larger than a tuna? If you want to be a swordfish, okay, if you want to be a swordfish, then what you're going to do is you're going to check out the limited bundle. But be careful, because there's a lot of things in this bundle, and I didn't know this until I scrolled down. Apparently, you can scroll down for the weekly bundle. I think I know why they did this. So there's like the bi-weekly bundles that refresh every other week that have slightly more value. And then there's the weekly bundle, which is like it resets every week. Yeah. So it kind of depends. Like I suppose if you're a swordfish, what will happen is, so I was talking to Lucky Lux about this, and what he recommended was that I prioritize the epic invite letters, the brown envelopes. The brown envelopes are what you're going to purchase. Please do not get the acorns. Do not get the acorns. Do not get the soul stones. Do not. Ever. Do not get this either. Do not get the title essence. Because even though you need them to level up your EX weapons and your skills, you can get them by stargazing, which I'll talk about in a moment. So epic invite letters, that is what allows you to hyper focus and pull the 5 units you want. You know, you have a 20% chance to pick up one of the 5 units, or how should I say? Each character on your wish list has a 20% chance you pull on that. That's a huge jump in probability. So prioritize the epic invites. But notice how there's like epic invites with diamonds and regular letters, and then there's like epic invites with acorns. Dodge the acorns. No acorns, okay? We're swordfish, we're not squirrels. Swordfish, no acorns. No acorns, no soul stones, and only get them the packages that have the invite letters. So actually, oh, and even though hero essences are kind of a bottleneck in this game, do not purchase these because you can farm them. And I can talk about that later if you want. So, in summary, only get, like this package right here, with the white letters, the brown letters, and the gems, that is the one you want to go for. And there's 2 of them. There's one there, there's one there. So that's if you're a swordfish. Now, if you're like a killer whale, okay, not a whale yet, you're a killer whale, then you're probably looking at the other options, right? You've probably, I don't know, maybe pulled on Vala like 1 copy or something, or maybe like pulled a couple times and you unlock stargazing. So, stargazing, what is stargazing? Stargazing allows you to get 4, you can kind of think of them as premium characters that belong to a faction that you cannot get from a normal summon, and these are Hypogean and Celestial. And these are the Stargaze crystals, by the way, the stellar crystals. So what are stellar crystals for? These beautiful orb thingies. So if you go to the summon page, and some of you might not have this unlocked yet, you need to summon, I think, like 40 times in order to unlock this rightmost stargaze station. So let's say you were a swordfish, you summon 40 times, and then this unlocks, and then you're looking at here, and you're like Monka S, and they're like, whoa, there's these really cool characters, and ooh, what is Hypogen? What is Celestial? Well, let me explain. So these 2 classes, or these 2 factions, count towards the faction bonus of any class. So let's say you have 2 Graveborn characters, and like maybe like 1 Mauler and 1 Wilder, and if you have in the 5th slot a Celestial or a Hypogen, that count towards the 3rd Graveborn faction in order to unlock the faction bonus of 10% attack, 10% HP. So that's really cool. But of course, you're not just pulling them for that. You're pulling them for the broken kit. And these heroes, even though they take maybe like 50% extra orbs in order to get to Supreme Plus, which is the highest ranking, uh, in the game, but they have really, um, they have basically like, they have kits that just really shake up the game. Like for instance, I'm hyper focusing on Raynor. I like Raynor a lot because he is able, with his ultimate, to blink an enemy off of the map for 10 seconds. And when they come back into the map, it stuns them. But he also increases the attack of your party. And he also, depending on your map positioning, he has something called like parallel dynamic balance. Yeah. So basically, when Rainier is right next to um, like one of your other units, he can teleport that your ally with an opposing ally along the same tile formation opposite of them. Yeah, I can do a video on that if you want to know more about it. It swaps the places. So if you're stuck on an AFK stage and you're like Monka S, these tanks I can't get through them, and the mages behind them are killing me. They're slaughtering me. Well, what you can do is swap one of your characters with one of their mages. So the mage is on your side of the field, and then you just like kill the mage, you know? And then like all of a sudden it's like you just deal with the tanks, right? So that's Rainier. And my guildmate Jin, he has Scarlita. So Scarlita is um, also another OP unit because she flies into the air and is like invincible for I don't know how many seconds, and then stuns the enemies. Like stuns, she does like a, it says a 3 tile wave, rock wave. Yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of a trip when you. Anyways, so that's a flavor of what stargazing units do. 15 seconds. Okay. So Jin is my guildmate who has Scarlita. So Scarlita is invincible for the first 15 seconds of the match. She like flies up into the air and like starts stunning the enemy. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. And that's like part of her kit. Uh the only thing, just to give you a heads up, stargazing is probably meant for the whales because, like, for me, I have my Rainier only at Mythic Plus, and that's kind of a problem because I'm at a point in this in my account progression where the only way I can push up on AFK stages comfortably is to have all my characters like minimum legendary plus. I cannot go below that. Uh, yeah, otherwise they're just Monka S-ing on the map, like getting like two-shotted, one-shotted. It's terrible. So, um, but you know, because you're a killer whale, not a whale, so you probably won't. Um, you probably don't have any supreme pluses, and so like a mythic plus is something that a lot of your units will be. So it'll be more like even with your mythic plus character. Oh, thank you Hachiro for the follow, appreciate you. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk about the stargazing units, and I have another viewer who asked me is Diano good, and I kind of looked at his kit. He's like an overpowered marksman, but he isn't like game breaking. He doesn't like blink an enemy off the map like Raynor does, or he doesn't like stun like multiple enemies for like 2 or 4 seconds like Scarlita does. And then no one's been talking about Burial. I haven't looked at him yet. And rogues are kind of in an awkward spot right now, not gonna lie, because they think that they're tanks when they're not. Anyways, that's another video. Okay, so now that I talk about stargazing, let's go back to the shop because if you're a killer whale, then you might dabble into stargazing. Um, because, um, yeah, so why do you want to stargaze? Well, stargazing serves two purposes. You need to start the pity for one of those hypogen or celestial units. Oh, and by the way, you notice that you can select one, right? Meaning when you succeed, you will pull that one wish list character. So currently I have Rainier as my wish list, meaning when I succeed, quote unquote, when I get lucky, I will pull Rainier until I swap him with like Scarlita and that sort of thing. And I actually got to make sure I'm still on Rainier. I think I am. Yeah, but anyway, so ideally you want to buy two of these stellar crystal packs to guarantee you at least one copy of the celestial or hypogen character that you want. In my case, I got really lucky. I actually got my first Rainier in 110 pull, and then I got my second Rainier in like 32 pulls or something like that. So I kind of beat the odds a little bit, but I have hit hard pity the full 40 for Rainiers, so just a heads up on that. A little notice: you need 4 copies of Supreme Plus for Stargaze character. Oh yeah, thank you, Jin. Let me pull up this visual. This is very important to know because the amount of orbs you need for that's a very good point. Let me just pull this up and this will make sense. Okay, so here's kind of a chart that explains how many orbs and acorns you need to upgrade heroes, like a heroes from elite all the way to Supreme Plus. And then here we have the standard Graveborn, Wilder, Lightbearer, and Mauler. So it alternates, as some of you know, between orbs and acorns. But hypogen and celestial characters are pure orbs. So it's kind of Monka-esque because you need 4 extra orbs, which essentially is you need to pull like 4 extra copies of more of the hypogen or celestial to get them to Supreme Plus. So it's really kind of Monka-esque. But the good news is that once you get them to Mythic Plus, which is 6 summons, then you automatically start getting value because they have their EX weapon at that point. But summoning them 6 times is like what? 240 Stargaze crystals if you are super duper unlucky. So, but the good news is that if you're in an active guild, you'll have the resources to get more. And if you're active, every week you can purchase the Stargaze crystals from the shop, which you should do. You should try to clean those out. So I kind of digress on that. If you're a swordfish, you can do one of 2 things. You can just ignore the Stargaze units and just start getting probably the next best worth is probably, if you scroll down, probably this one right here. This one right here. That's probably the most worth. If you want to continue pulling, like let's say you're trying to get Rowan to Mythic Plus to unlock his EX weapon, I would say a semi-functional character, it would be like Mythic Plus, because at least you have their EX weapon and now you feel like, oh, okay, they have something special that differentiates them from other healers or other warriors. Like every character brings something to the table and often it's gated by their EX weapon. So I do actually recommend that when you're pulling, try to keep pulling until, for that specific character, until at least they're Mythic Plus. And then depending on how far into the game you are, then you can kind of think like Legendary Plus or Supreme Plus. And then so once you're satisfied with the normal characters, like the like the Wilder or Graveborn, like let's say you have your Graveborn units like Thorin, Cecia, and Carolina, you know, to Mythic Plus, and you know you're happy you got your Graveborn core, you know, that you can surround with, say, like Smokey for the heals, or Haywin for the heals, that sort of thing, then that's when you can be like, okay, it would be kind of nice to have an excellent support, or maybe like, you know, Rainer, or maybe like another warrior, like that can stun. Oh, and by the way, Scarlita, the warrior celestial, she can stun, and she can grant a shield to one of your allies. I forgot to mention that. That's kind of huge. It's a warrior. She's a warrior that does that, and she does like one other broken thing. Um, yeah. So then you can consider adding one celestial or one hypogen as your fifth slot. And I do face people in PvP who do pick up one of those for their fifth slot. Yeah, when you get high enough in PvP, a lot of teams, not a lot of teams, maybe like 20% of teams, because you need to dedicate, right? Stargazing, it's like you have to go not all in, but you have to commit. Uh, Maybe like 20% of people in the top uh, tiers of PvP arena, they have either a Scarlita or a Rainier. Yeah. So far, I haven't seen anyone who has more than one, because it's just such a huge investment. Okay. So let's say you're not a killer whale. Let's say you decide to be a whale. Uh, yeah. Then at that point, what you're going to do is you're going to buy out all the broken, all the brown tickets packages. Just buy all of them, uh, including the ones that have less optimal, like the acorns. Like if you're a whale, you can buy these two, and you can buy this one as well. And then you're going to buy the stellar crystals. You'll buy all of them. Yeah, that one. Yeah, buy this one, and then you buy this one. Yeah, so that's if you're a whale. And that's what I would recommend for optimal packs. Oh, but leave some dry powder available, because, and I can't really demonstrate this right now, but uh, let's say you pull like what, a mythic S tier character. They will all of a sudden be like, oh, you know, 5,000% worth bundle. They put it right in front of your face. Be like, you know, you just pulled a Rainer. You know, would you like to spend an extra 2,500 of these dragon crystals, or however much it is, to get an extra orb? And then you're like, Monka S, you know, I already spent all my money. And then, but then it's like, oh, but it's extra worth because look at all these brown tickets as well. So, actually, let me think. You want to get those packages. I unfortunately don't have an image, but if, say, like you're trying to hyper focus and push, and you're trying to get to like legend, or yeah, you're trying to get Mythic Plus or Supreme Plus, for a very valuable unit that you cannot buy from the Emporium, right? Because we know that in PvP we earn these valuable arena coins. And you know, a lot of viewers in my chat ask me, hey Turtle, why is it worth to refresh for PvP? You know, it costs gems. Well, sir or ma'am, the reason for that is because every time you win in arena PvP and you push up to the next tier, every victory within that tier earns you more of these arena coins, which allows you to select an S tier character. Now, mind you, you can only have access to half the S tier characters that are available in the game. which kind of affects the wish list, which I can talk about someday if you'd like. Um, but why am I talking about this? I had a reason for talking about this. I lost my train of thought, but anyways, guys, so that's it for the video. If you enjoy content like this, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.